Hey everyone! Sometimes when you look at a bunch of numbers, it just feels like, well, a mess. A random jumble of clues with no story. But what if I told you that you have the power to be a data detective? That you can make sense of that mess and uncover the secrets hiding inside? Well, get ready because our first case is about to begin.
So our first case is all about triangles. We've got a whole bunch of measurements here, but they are completely jumbled up. And here's our mission. Should we choose to accept it, can we figure out what's really going on here? Is there a secret relationship between these numbers?
All right, here it is, our official case file. On the left, you see the length of a triangle's shortest side, and on the right, its total perimeter. And man, this data is just all over the place, right? I mean, a short side of 2 has a perimeter of 7.5, but then a smaller side of 1.5 has a smaller perimeter of 5. It's really tough to see any kind of connection when the evidence is this chaotic.
Okay, so where do we even start with this mess? Well, we start with our first big move. We're going to organize our clues and see if a pattern starts to emerge. This is where the real detective work kicks in. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But trust me, this is the single most powerful first step you can take. Before we can spot any patterns, we have to create some order out of all this chaos. We need to arrange our clues in a way that actually makes sense.
So, what's a logical way to sort this? Well, the easiest thing to do is to just pick one of our measurements, let's go with the short side, and then rearrange the whole table based on that, going from the smallest number all the way to the largest. Let's see what happens when we do that.
And whoa, look at that. The second we organize the data, a pattern just jumps right out at you. As the length of the short side gets bigger, the perimeter also gets bigger every single time. This isn't random at all. There is absolutely a relationship here. That is our first major breakthrough in this case.
Now that we've actually found a pattern, we can do something really cool. We can use these organized clues to start making predictions about data we don't even have yet.
Let's put these new detective skills to the test. If you look at our organized table, there's no entry for a short side of 0.75 centimeters. But do you think we can make a really good, educated guess about what its perimeter would be?
Okay, let's look back at our organized evidence board. If you look closely, you'll see that the number 0.75 would fit right in between 0.5 and 1. See it? That spot right there is the key to making our prediction. The logic here is pretty simple, right? Since our mystery side length of 0.75 is between 0.5 and 1, it just makes sense that its perimeter would be somewhere between their parameters, that is, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 centimeters.
So a solid estimate would be about 2.25 centimeters, which is smack dab in the middle. And just like that, we used a pattern we found to predict a totally new piece of information. That is some top-notch detective work right there.
Now, organizing data in a table? It's fantastic. But to really, truly see the whole story, sometimes you need to turn those clues into a picture. Let's add another powerful tool to our detective kit.
And that tool is called a scatter plot. Don't let the name scare you. It's just a graph that helps us see the relationship between two different things. All we do is take each pair of our measurements and turn it into a single dot on the graph. It helps us visualize the whole pattern at once.
To see how this works, let's take on a quick new case, the speeding toy car. We've got some data here. The first column is how far back a toy car was pulled, and the second is how far it traveled. And just like with our triangles, now that it's organized, you can see a pattern, right? The more you pull it back, the farther it goes.
Okay, now let's turn that table into a scatter plot. So each row from our table is going to become one dot on this graph. See the first one? Pulled back 2 inches, it traveled about 14. So we go over to 2 on the bottom, up to 14, and bam, there's our dot. We're literally building a picture of our data. And once you see all the points on the graph together like this, wow, the relationship is just crystal clear. You can literally see the data going up and to the right. It's so obvious. The farther the car is pulled back, the farther it travels. The picture makes the pattern impossible to miss.
And with that, case closed. We totally cracked it. So let's do a quick review of the essential tools we added to our Data Detective Toolkit today.
So remember these 3 key steps. Step 1, you start with your messy data, your jumbled up clues. Step 2, you organize those clues to find the hidden pattern. And step 3, you visualize that pattern with a tool like a scatter plot so you can see the whole big picture. You officially have the fundamental skills of a data detective. And believe me,
The world is full of messy data that's just waiting for someone like you to come along, organize it, and uncover all the amazing stories hidden inside. So, what are you going to discover?